Hello and welcome to episode 22 of my Endwalker playthrough. Glowing Way is waiting back there to continue with our main story quest. In the meantime, I did in fact get my shared fates up, and I have in fact... I have in fact got a bunch of extra ether currents and done those two quests. So we're all ready on that front. We have double mount speed. Let us continue. Oh, and yes, Urianger is off doing unenviable things again. Glowing Way is keen to put his recent mishaps behind him. It may not seem like it, but we've been planning for this far longer than I care to admit. Each time we woke up, we had a long discussion about how to save as many of you as we can. Felt like everyone had an opinion about that. Let me have a quick. I have a nice hot cup of tea. Let's take a second. Let's try again. But the one thing we all agreed on was that the people of Ethereus wouldn't take action to save themselves until it was far too late. That's why we're striving to make the moon a vibrant, magical place that hop at the chance to come visit, rather than waiting for the flames of oblivion to get them off their tails and force them to accept our invitation. You're actually wrong about that. We're expecting the end of days and we want to try and stop it. The residential quarters may not be up to the necessary standards just yet, but there are plenty of other places worth seeing. You've already had a look around the Curatorium, but wait until you see what's waiting for you at the east end of the borough. Follow me! I have actually already seen part of that, because I had to go that way to get a... And we go. We had to go that way to get a, what's it called? It wasn't an Aphicon, we didn't get the Aphicon in there, that was it. There was a Fate in there. And I figured while I was getting all of the faints, I would just get one, get it done there and then. So, we have been in here. Not entirely sure what here is, but I've seen it. Good. Good. You're here. Through this door is the Great Endsvale. It was named as such because it's the Vale. It's the Vale to end all Vales. The most beautiful forest you'll ever see. We understand the people of Ethereus enjoy taking leisurely walks through natural spaces and the like, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it. How about we start with a nice stroll to the fountain? This way. And we do know that there is in fact an aether current in here. Not too far in here, but it is slightly out the way this way. Ah, I went straight past it. Okay. Any more in here? Southeast, there is, somewhere in the direction we're heading. So this is a forest. I mean, I'll give them, it's very pretty, but this is not a natural environment in any way, shape or form. Fountain's pretty though. Southeast, so still this way. It's going to be over here-ish then. There it is. How many left? 4 left. Not including quests? So, what do you think of the forest? Isn't it positively pleasant? Simply sublime? I couldn't see the forest or the trees. Oh, I didn't see anything. Wait, do you mean those crystals out there are... 'Tis as transcendent as burying your face in a chocobo's plumage and taking a good long whiff. They're not going to get that. We'll go with this second one. Right, you are. Our forest is made of crystal and constructs, dotting the landscape as far as the eye can see. Building this place was a challenge, let me tell you. Since we were born here, we've never seen trees in person before, let alone a forest. The information sent by our college was quite enlightening, but after much deliberation we decided to use crystalline constructs in the place of living trees. And thanks to our atmospheric circulation system, this place produces air as clean as that as you'd find as the forest in Aetherius. The fountain behind us, powered by the rather large crystal adorning its top, plays a vital role in supplying us with fresh water. Much time and effort was spent in making it the most spherical of spheres, and I dare say the unparalleled roundness speaks for itself. Yeah, they really could have done with actually speaking with some of us rather than just reading. They really could have done with not being told by Charlian, or given the information from Charlian, who will always give the information as a practicality, first and foremost, I imagine. I enjoy nothing more than a nice long stretch and a spot of relaxation whenever I come up here. You look like you could use with a stretch yourself. Fine. That's the spirit. I feel more relaxed simply watching you. A sight worth the many years spent building this place. If it's not too much to ask, it's always been a dream of mine to take a walk through the forest with someone from Aetherius. Maybe we could? Gasps, you will? Oh wow! Be still, my quivering whiskers. It is now accompanying me. So there's our destination. Do we see any blue circles? We do not. Let us take a walk along the path. With our Loporrit friend. I think that last pronunciation was right. The first two sounded wrong. I was thinking, Nathan, that I could be more helpful to you by teaching you a little about the moon and what it is we do. When we were first created, the moon's sole purpose was to hold Zodiac, and there was absolutely nothing to be found here. Eventually, Heidelin gave us our first task: furnish the moon with propulsion systems capable of facilitating travel to another star. It sounds impressive, and I suppose, in some respects, it is. But it was only possible thanks to all the knowledge Heidelin shared with us. We also had a lot of time to get it done. 6,000 years, give or take. But anyway, let's keep going. We'll double back to that one. This may come as a surprise, but we didn't begin building the habitation areas until after the propulsion system was ready. Considering how long it took us, I wish we had started sooner. We would have thought it needs 4,000, or who would have thought it needed 4,000 years to make all this? It certainly wasn't work you dare rush, either. We had to create infrastructure and countless supporting systems, some of which wouldn't be operational until hundreds of years later. And then there was the brief period where our productivity came to a screeching halt, when that bizarre red satellite was sent up from Aetherius, the Allagan's mischief, I think. We thought maybe some new nefarious actor was colluding with Zodiac. All we could do was stand by and brace ourselves for the worst. I can't tell you how relieved we were when Heidelin informed us of its destruction. Ah yes, there was much joyous humming that day. Ask if you can taste the rainbow crystal. What? No, no, no. I'm not sure what it is you do with crystals on Aetherius, but we do not eat them, and certainly not this one. Oh yeah, they're talking about that thing. One of those. It possesses all 6 elements. Wind, lightning, fire, earth, ice and water. We use crystals like these to maintain the moon's elemental equilibrium. It's worth mentioning, though, that because of Hydaelyn's influence, being the embodiment of tranquility and stasis and all, manipulating the elements here is different than it may be on Aetherius. A conjuring of fire would sooner dry your clothes than singe them, for example. Put simply, the etheric conditions are ill-suited to growth, which is why the surface is mostly barren. That also explains why there isn't a forest here. It's not that they couldn't do it, it's that because the entire moon was created by Hydaelyn, it is bound by the elements of light, which is stasis, which is obviously the opposite of growth. So it would be very hard to grow a forest here. Of course, this was all necessary to keep the raging energies of Zodiac in check. Say, do you notice anything peculiar about the treetops? I mean, apart from the fact they're massive crystals and not trees. I can't quite see them from here. Oh yes, there's a little blue orb on the top of it. I'll give you a hint, the golden rings emanating from the glowing spheres. Along with devices fixed near the ceiling, they fulfill a similar role to our sun, and do so better even. The sun and similar celestial objects in the great expanse radiate energy that is harmful to your bodies. These rings shield you from that energy while allowing you to bathe in the perfect amount of sunlight, or rather a close approximation of it. Impressive, pretty impressive, wouldn't you say? Oh, and if you look closely, you'll see the different types of trees have ever so slightly different curvatures. Yes indeed, this forest truly is the greatest. This is not a forest though. There's something else I wanted to tell you about. Oh, right. The propulsion system and habitation facilities were completed around 2,000 years ago, and with that, the most important features were fit for purpose. Which was all well and good, except we still knew absolutely nothing about present-day people of Aetherius. Why not go and visit Aetherius yourself, you might ask? Strictly forbidden. Were our technology or knowledge of the moon's true purpose exposed for evil ends, the result could be disastrous. Then there were a few more rejoinings, and it became increasingly difficult to converse with Hydaelyn. Fearful we might lose the ability to communicate with her altogether, we beseeched her to find people on Aetherius we could trust to help. And we were quite fortunate everything worked out as it did. So that's what they found in the Ethereal Sea. They found Hydaelyn, who gave them their important duty. But it appears that they slightly mistook it as that the Sharlians alone were the ones that were to survive. At least that's the impression the forum give me from everything they've said so far. With the exception of routine inspections and maintenance, we remain asleep and waiting. Hopeful Hydaelyn would find someone who could help us. Eventually she did, and through her power, although her power was waning, we were able to speak with them directly for a short while. We shared with them everything we could, including our knowledge of the heavens, and a means to travel here to the moon. They certainly didn't waste any time with what we taught them. No more than a few years after, our collaborators found a means to convey messages and supplies to us from down below. With all the letters and books and other resources they sent, we learned enough to start making more meaningful changes to the moon. And now you're here, hopefully enjoying yourself as much as I am. I knew it. I knew you would like the greatest Endsvale. I knew it. Thank you again for coming here. By the way, I know it was just a walk through the forest, but it meant a lot to me. There you are. I take it you've already received the grand tour? A shame we missed it. Growing Way, I've been looking all over for you. Oh, is this about the teleport to the residential area? No, never mind that. We have more pressing matters at hand. I will be calling an emergency meeting shortly, and your attendance is required. Really? I can't imagine why you would need me there, but if you insist. We won't be away long, so you're more than welcome to continue looking about the burrow. Now, come along, Growing Way. Before we arrived, you seemed to be in the midst of a rousing conversation with your guide. Oh. Did you learn anything of import? They spent 12,000 years preparing for this. With the appointed hour fast approaching, I can certainly understand their restlessness, but still. It remains to be seen if the people can be persuaded to evacuate when there are yet no signs of the final days. What's more, the technology of this place defies imagination. I doubt there are many who would readily come to terms with living in such surroundings. Whosoever these collaborators are, unless they are possessed of the world's most charming personalities or a means to forcibly evacuate people, they will be met with a great deal of resistance. Indeed, even if faced with annihilation, the decision to forsake all one knows cannot be made lightly. Come on, someone twig! Forgive me, friends, but I must beg your leave. There's another matter which yet begs mine attention. Of course, we can accompany you if you like. Nay, that will not be necessary, if you'll excuse me. We're not going to worry about the S rank, we actually already went and killed it once. It spawned while I was out doing the quests. What was I doing? Yes, I was doing my Aetheryte quests. That's why this bit of the map is explored. I got to lift up. What do you suppose he suddenly tickled his fancy? 'Tis clear now that a difficult decision lies ahead of us. Persuading or preparations for the evacuation of Etheirys is indeed crucial, but I am not yet willing to forsake our home and its reflections, and I trust I am not alone in my... I don't know that word. At least I don't know the spelling of that word. Reluctance. I'll use that word, because that's a word I know. The final days will make brave fools of all of us. By now, Thancred can tell when his friends are up to something. Did Urianger seem strange to you? More so than usual, I mean? I know he has a perchance for keeping his own counsel, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried. Would you go and see if he's alright? Urianger and I will remain here and see what else we can learn about the final days. If you hurry, perhaps you can catch up with him. Where is he? Just over there. No need for a skip. Load screens on this computer are nothing. At least in this game. And there we go. Not that it actually has to reload anything, but even still. And there he goes. Urianger appears to be heading towards the entrance of Bestway's Burrows. And we found him, even with our back turned to the door that he was going through. What level was this quest? Still 84. I imagine once we finally run out of vested experience, we have run out of vested experience. No, we haven't. That bar wouldn't be blue. It's just we're not in a sanctuary anymore. Once we finally run out of vested experience, we will probably start or the MSQ quests will probably start catching up with us. We're going to have to sneak after him. Urianger ventures off into Mare Lamentorum for reasons unknown. You must tread carefully, else he might sense your presence. Follow Urianger from a safe distance. The objective and then failure blah 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 blah. Boop. But what is too far? There you go, you do get that doggo at some point. Maybe you get it at the end of this. No one's here. He's gonna run now. I bet. It's fine, my character can see through rocks.
Thine arrival is timely as ever. Thou didst chance to overhear my conversation with Living Way, I presume? 'Twas not mine intent to move in shadow. Nevertheless, I have been asked to do that and more yet again. Is it so plain that these strangers could intuit it at a glance? My capacity for silence and secrecy and duplicity.
You're too hard on yourself.
When Grahatir did contrive to deliver the first at the price of his own life, I was complicit in the scheme. A sacrifice averted for a mercy. Would that I could say the same for Menphilia. One life for one world. And by that bloody bargain, brokered by my hand, were the scions robbed of a dear comrade, and Flamine her beloved daughter. Two souls, whose selflessness was beyond measure, whose resolve was unshakable. They would not be moved even had I thought to protest. But protest I did not. Far from it. I pushed them forward. No effort did I make to seek out alternatives. Ones that would not demand such terrible costs. That resignation weigheth heavy on my mind, as does the memory of another lost to mine inaction.
Moonbreeder.
Dearest Moonbreeder, who did face death unflinching, that we might secure a means to bring low the Ascians. In her hour of need, I did naught. Dutiful disciple of Louisoix, ever looking to the greater good. Had I shut mine eyes and bid her live instead, mayhap she would be with us today. Selfish wants, born of everlasting regrets. Most days I put them from my mind, but could think of naught else when asked to swallow the same bitter draught. Subterfuge and sacrifice. Mayhap the right moral choice, but one I regard with great trepidation. The calamity of Amarot was a tragedy beyond reckoning, one which must never again come to pass. Thus must we struggle, haunted by ghosts of those we have lost, clinging to those we pray we can yet save. But what of those we cannot? How do we make peace with the dreadful algebra of necessity?
Sometimes there's no right answer. Have faith in yourself and your decisions. Take heart and protect those you can. Would that we had the time to weigh the costs. Let's go with the second one. We want to encourage him.
Sage counsel indeed. I see. Wisdom as befits a great worm. Curious that he should think thee in need of such encouragement. Strange. Scarcely can I remember when last we spoke alone, and so candidly. I thank thee. For all my supposed skill with words, I find it difficult to express such private thoughts. As for the Loporrit's proposition, I will take time and consider how to respond. 'Twould be to our mutual benefit if we could converse more openly with our aspiring caretakers. A concern I should be glad to address on the Scion's behalf. To dispense with all pretense and bare one's heart to another is a frightening thing indeed. But we cannot move forward ere we take that bold first step. A lesson I have learned many times before. And today.
What are they saying? Curse these ears and had bugger all. No matter. We've got our plans.
What are they up to now? Okay. We'll go get that in a second. In truth, the reason for travelling hither was to effect a plan of mine own. A plan which may pave the way forward for all of us. May, I say, for there's no guarantee of success. 'Tis the reason I set out alone. That failure, should it come, would be mine alone to bear. Yet thou standest before me with proffered hand and open heart. 'Twould be remiss of me to refuse thy amenity, and so I ask, wouldst thou join me in mine endeavour? Gladly. But before that, let's stop our chocobo from walking into another chocobo and find this thing. Okay, that's a problem. If it's north, there it is. That's not north, that's northwest. Another 3 remain. Which one is that one? Not that it matters. First one, southwest. That way. You're a curious creature. Where's Urianger? Can I actually get southwest? Yes, we can. We can cross there. How far southwest from here? We'll see which way Urianger goes, and then we'll decide whether I grab that now or later. Urianger is quite glad for your company. I thank thee for accompanying me. 'Tis a simple plan, in truth. We shall not be long away from Bestwayborough. Difficult decisions must needs be made in the coming days, and nevertheless, I believe we are all in one mind of our desire to save the people of Etheirys. To make clear our resolve to the Loporrits, I would offer them a gift, but its making doth require a most singular ingredient. Okay, yeah, he is heading that way. Well, I'll be right back. Random little storehouse. That's one of the cryosleep chambers. You got food and things. Did it... wonder what it's doing here. Anyway, back to Urianger. The next one is way over here. Southeast from here would put it in this area here, which looks like might be where we're going. Ah, an abundance of spongy. Excellent. I chanced to spy this aggregation when crossing Zodiac's erstwhile prison. Using a spell taught to me by the new Mo, I believe these shall suffice for the gift I would fashion. The magics required considerable concentration. However, might I prevail upon thee to stand watch while I perform the incantation? Surveying the area nearby, you see no signs of potential threats. This would be a good opportunity to see how Urianger is faring. Dot dot dot. Urianger remains fixated on his work. There, 'tis done. A magic ink every ounce as a magic ink every ounce as efficacious as that crafted by Numo. Rare is the occasion I would conjure mine own, but it is nevertheless a most useful skill. The resulting product is, admittedly, possessed of no preternatural properties, but its hue is one of mine own choosing, which I pray the Loporrits will appreciate. Nathan, Urianger. Oh, thank goodness. I thought you had been eaten, or had perhaps fallen into a crater. Trouble? Your stroller has been looking all over for you, Nathan. She says she needs to speak with you about something most urgent, dire even. She was also quite clear that she wished to speak with Nathan alone, which means, I'm afraid, you must stay behind, Urianger. But worry not, as it just so happens that we need your help with an errand, delivering a package from the Watcher's Palace to Bestway Burrows. It's quite a large and heavy, perhaps even too heavy, for we poor Loporrits, and we would be ever so grateful if you could lend us a hand. That's convenient. Suspiciously convenient. Nah, we'll go with the top one. We know, obviously, Urianger has explicitly told us, but there's no need for us to tell them unless Urianger wants to. Well, I suppose I'll be going then. Phew, good. I mean, yes, very good. Let us not keep you, then. She said she would be waiting for you in the greatest Endsvale, or somewhere thereabouts. I'm sure you'll find her soon enough. Worry not, Nathan. I shan't be long. Alrighty then. I'm assuming that, yeah, we are supposed to go up there. I wonder if she's going to turn around and say that she did no such thing. Everything alright with Urianger then? That's a relief. But back so soon? Oh, Nathan, we thought you would be away for far longer. A dire emergency. I said no such thing. But as you're here, I could use your assistance with one small matter. Running Way, a companion of Growing Way, apparently has much to tell us of the final days. The problem, however, is that he is determined to live up to his name, refusing to stay still long enough for us to hold a conversation. Is there anywhere he's likely to stop and rest, or perhaps there was a way to slow him down? Oh, what's the rush? I was thinking we should just wait here, maybe enjoy a cold mug of carrot juice, and... no? Well, if it's really that important... you can try using these balls of mouse flesh, not to be confused with the other thing. Running Way's other notable features is his incessant chatter. You'll have no trouble finding him in a crowd, and when you do, try lobbing your balls at him. Crude, but if it proves effective. He was here in Greatest Endsvale when last I saw him. Let's split up and find him. Are we doing the dart thing again? Search this around. Yes. We have added this mechanic. We will use it. Well, he's not going to be standing still. That'll be him. Probably. Or maybe not. Running way. Do not hit unassuming Loporrits. Phew, time to break it break. I'm very late for a very important meeting. Running way. We're expecting them, or whoever we're looking for, to be very, very chatty, though. And that's the unassuming one, so yeah, we don't hit them. They're unassuming. To be fair, that or the one that's running away question mark is the only one doing any talking whatsoever. So much to do, so little time. Ah, that's smart. If it was meant as a joke, it isn't funny. Yes, I'm running away. Do you mind explaining to me why you hit me in the face with your balls of mouse flesh? I'm highly knowledgeable about the final days. Ah, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard since I woke up. Who told you that joke? As if we got time to be looking into the final days when there's so much to do before this great voyage. It is true that Hydaelyn did impart to me some knowledge of the events, but I know about as much as any of a Loporrit around here. Less, probably. I don't know why everyone thinks it's so funny to go around telling people that I'm an expert, but they'd better hope I don't get my paws in them. Sorry, I couldn't be of more help. If there's anything else, I've got work to do. And I'm off. Follow him. Not follow him. Oh no, you caught him? I mean, well done you. You've been sent to distract us for a period of time. And you didn't expect us to complete the task so quick. Any look? I tried near the entrance, but there's no sign of him. I couldn't find neither hide nor hair of him. How did you fare? So he knows no more than the others? Care to explain yourself, Growing Way? Well, you see, I misremembered. Yes, that's it. I misremembered. Terribly sorry about that. Afraid I'm drawing a blank, though. Try as I might, I can't remember who I was thinking of. On an unrelated note, what of Urianger? I assume you spoke with him earlier, but did he say when he would be returning? On his way to Watcher's Palace with Living Way. Between Growing Way's sudden lapse in memory and our lack of the leads, maybe our time would be better spent leading or lending Urianger a hand. What? Now hold on a moment. It's all coming back to me. Yes, I remember. The information you're looking for is in the archive. Yes, that's where you'll find all sorts of useful knowledge, including that pertains to the final days. And yes, I deliberately read that as fast as I could. I am surprised I did not trip over my own tongue. Oh, we're 46 minutes in. We're probably going to cut 5 minutes out. Could end up going long. Yeah, screw it. One more. If some scheme were afoot, surely Urianger would be the first to see through it. Then again, he does tend to give others the benefit of the doubt. I'm beginning to grow tired of these games. Oh. So we're going to leave it there for today. Reason being, that has an Aethercone quest tied to it. If that has an Aethercone quest tied to it, that's probably going to be a dungeon. And the end of the MSQ here, which is going to take us way more than 15-20 minutes. So we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. I can see on my map, let me move that over to here so it's easier for my 21:9 to see it. 2 more quests. I may as well then also go out and potentially find these 2 last Aethercones. We know one of them is over here, although I suspect that's where we're going. I can't see a bridge to get to this area here, but I also don't think there's an Aethercone over there. I'd have to guess the remaining 2 Aethercones must be over here, because I'm fairly sure... No more? No more, yeah. So they're probably over here, so I will get those last 2 quests done, and then we'll come back and see about what dungeon there is in the moon. So, thanks again for watching, hope you enjoyed the show, and hopefully I will see you next time. Cheerio.